What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Limiting Principle Podcast. This is Patrick. We're going to be talking about what happened in Minneapolis with another ICE-related shooting. But first, I just wanted to give myself a plug. If you go over to the Limiting Principle Podcast on YouTube, you'll see that I've started a new series. It's called New Derp Courses. And it is essentially an ongoing series that is going to be a breakdown of what James Lindsay is doing, highlighting how James Lindsay himself is woke, and dissecting his material and pointing out the flaws and inaccuracies in it in a similar fashion to the way that he tries to do with other people and what he did so well a couple of years ago when he would profile the left. It's called New Derp Courses. There is already one episode up, and it's going to be an ongoing series. I'm not going to do it regularly all the time. I'm basically going to do it when I believe he's released something so atrociously insane that it has to be covered. So please go check it out. I'm really proud of the series so far, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. I just wanted to start with this. A Minneapolis mother posts on TikTok. Let's see what she has to say here. Okay, so she says, gearing up to go do ice patrol at my neighborhood school in sub-zero weather looks like when you've got an 18-month-year-old on your back because my babies aren't more important than anybody else's. It's just psychotic. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit. I'm a big fan of Riley Gaines, but earlier this month she said that when she went out and spoke at like something involving trans legislation, I think it was at the Supreme Court when that ruling came down, she brought her baby and put the baby in a Kevlar blanket, a bulletproof blanket, in fear that her child was going to be shot by insane leftists. And I'm like, Riley Gaines, why are you bringing your baby to this? You're a rich person. Have somebody watch your baby. And then this woman is bringing her baby to a protest, which could turn into a violent riot as they not often, but as they have been known to do. And she's saying that her baby is not more important than anybody else's, which, what would you call that? I don't even know what you would... like a faux empathy, a suicidal empathy. It's psychotic.
Wow. So a part of me is thinking, did she even go out, or did she just turn when she finished recording, did she just sit back down and, get rid of all of that gear? And
just like, what are you doing? Like,
I don't know. Like my first thought is, oh, well, this is your virtue signaling. You're not actually doing this.
I don't know. These women are nuts. I bet she went out there, but it's like, what do you? I mean, first off, you're putting your kid in a dangerous situation, and then you're openly admitting that your child is not any more important than any other child. So are you telling me that if both your kid and some Somalian's kid was hanging off the edge of a cliff, you would try to save like the Somalian kid?
No. You would be perfectly try to be scientific, and you'd flip a coin.
Is that this scientific socialism, Marxism? Is that the science of Marxism?
But remember, because of the slight, because when you flip a coin, whatever face is face up has a slightly higher chance of coming up as the correct one. You must make heads the minority child to make it fair and balanced.
That makes sense. And honestly, this is obviously all nonsense. Like, this woman, she's got a dog there. Okay. So I'm a huge dog person. I would save my dog over 1 million Somalians any day of the week. My dog is more important to me than some stranger. Now, if there was an actual baby in distress, I'd probably save the baby because human lives are more important. But this woman I guarantee she prioritizes her fur baby over some like foreign Somalian. Like you said, it's just about the virtue signal of trying to say that we're all equal, and I view these people as having equal worth as my child does. But I don't think that at the end of the day, I don't think this woman actually believes that. I don't think she actually believes that.
I mean, it's funny that you bring that up, the whole dog in person thing, because I use that as an example of in class when we discuss the Declaration of Independence, what makes humans important, what makes people important. I mean, what's crazy is most people would choose to save a dog over a person. The more interesting thing is more people would definitely choose to save a dog over an old person. That's the thing I found super duper interesting.
Well, I know that if I was at some sort of protest and violence broke out and there was like some shithead communist dressed up in black bloc and I had my dog with me, I would definitely lift my dog up and get out of there because my dog's life is more important than some communist life to me.
I understand that, but I mean, let's put ourselves. If I put myself in a situation where I have to save my personal dog or a stranger, I'm probably going to live the rest of my life feeling guilty that I let a human die. That's just. I mean, that's the thing. That should be the feeling because there is something more. There's something more. There's something special about a human soul or something like that.
Yeah.
That requires, that necessitates us to have natural rights and protections. But to get back to this, there's only two options. Either you're performing, like I said, or you seriously did this, which I mean.
No, I think that the act of doing the virtue signal to saying that someone else's child is as important as yours is a performance, but I'm assuming that she went out there because there's a bunch of crazy white broads out there doing this all the time.
Okay, fair. I mean, okay, that part, either way, you're either dishonest or a bad parent. I pick. Yeah. No option is good at that point. But these people are shameless and they don't care. They just want the positive validation.
Yeah. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. This is
let's get into the actual thing. We're gonna have to look at this like a lot. We're gonna have
this is what
things because
so this is what I want. This is what I was interested. I was glad this video got released because the initial video was from behind. And then on that video, I saw that there was a white lady dressed in some pink scarf taking video of it from a different angle. So I was glad that this was released. Here we go.
What's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right, so here, okay, so right there, I ended up getting swarmed by Antifa yesterday, and they all liked my post because the Data Republican, a prominent account on X, they do a lot of analytic work through right-wing lens. They said that the man had his arm around the woman's throat and was trying to like do something bad to her, the guy who got shot, but he's clearly right here has his arm around the woman after she's encountered the ICE agent and is trying to get her away from him and trying to help her. And I was like, as data Republican, as someone who relies on data and views yourself as objective as possible, how are you thinking that this man is putting his like arm around her throat and he's trying to assault her? That was like pure leftism.
It's clearly a hand on an arm.
Yeah, he has his arm around her like waist / back kind of area. Anyways, I was gonna let me go off. And so Antifa kept reposting my comments and saying like, communist shit in my comments. I'm like, no, I hate you guys. I just disagree with this one Republican in this regard.
It's so crazy. What I find so fascinating is you can't just, even for someone like Data Republican, here's a data point in isolation. No, I must go with the narrative. The narrative is so powerful. It makes you see things that are not there. It makes you hear things that don't exist. It is so powerful, this narrative that we all follow.
Yeah, and I get it. Okay, so if we're gonna get into this, okay, but if an ICE agent does something that is unwarranted, like what you do is you just remove the ICE agent, you punish the ICE agent, and then you continue on with your operations. Of course, the entire left's focus on this is to delegitimize ICE because they want them abolished. They want them to get out of Minneapolis. That's why you can't give the leftists an inch Although you still shouldn't lie about what happened. If you just tell the truth about what happens, what happens when a cop shoots an innocent person? You go, oh yeah, the cop shot an innocent person. We'll punish the cop, and the cops will remain in operation, just like ICE.
Look, I have another overarching opinion about all of this. I don't want to mention that part yet because I mean it might be a thought terminating cliche or something like that. But oh my goodness.
Well,
So
you want to keep going?
I was gonna say, so okay, so let's just paint the picture. What do we have here? We have a man with his arm around the shoulder, upper body, back of the ribs or whatever around this woman.
Yeah, he's clearly trying to assist her. Yeah.
So he's trying to move her from where she is. Okay, let's keep on going.
Okay. So then that guy, so these women,
he didn't push her. He actually made sure she was balanced, and then moved on.
Well, yeah, no, he pushes her out of the street because these people are interfering.
Someone gets bodied in the background. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just really quick. It is insane. So actually, we'll get into it later. Let's keep going.
Hold on, go back. Hold on, go back. Actually, go back a few seconds because we're just focused on the woman, but look at what's happening in the back as well.
Yeah, so ICE agent, another woman is in the street arguing with ICE.
Can you make the screen bigger?
Pushes her. What?
Can you make the screen bigger?
No.
No? Okay.
Wait, hold on. No, I can't. No, that's
okay. It doesn't do much, anyways. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, there's nothing else to see, really. He pushes her.
So just pushes her out of the way. Okay.
He pushes her out of the way, and then at that moment, the man who ends up being killed puts his hands on an ICE agent. Right there, he puts his hand on. Now, see, this is what I always say. So the left is, we'll see later, Tim Walz has declared that ICE are not law enforcement. AOC is openly calling for civil conflict, if not civil war. So imagine if it's an FBI agent or Homeland Security, a federal governmental law enforcement agency that was created right around the same time as ICE. Imagine if you had crazy white leftists out trying to get in the way of the FBI and pushing them. That's essentially what is happening here. But the left's entire, they're pissed about, like, where they're coming from is that ICE are just Gestapo Nazis. So that's how severe things have gotten, that they're openly calling to get in the way of a federal law enforcement agency that is just trying to enforce the law. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Okay, I this is a terrible analogy. I mean, I do this all the time. I relate things back to me in a classroom and me as a teacher, and I'm thinking, okay, so like, let's say a student decides to just start screaming and yelling and get up and preventing me from teaching. So, okay, I'm going to tell the student to get out of the class. Okay, well, the student's not going to get out of the class. Okay, so I'm just going to use my height and just use my aura and just get the kid outside. And I can't imagine what I would do if another student just ran up to me, ran up to my face and pushed me and just say, "You can't do that." What are you talking about? I am enforcing the law here.
I know. It's
it's kind of like, well, we decided that this is the rule. Okay, I make the rules. I say you're obviously impeding on something lawful because I'm the designated person with the power here. And this comes from an authority that's greater than you. Like, okay, your parents, it doesn't matter what they think. I'm the teacher in the classroom. That was not a decision made by the parents, not made by the kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And obviously I'm not going to, the rules are different. I don't have the monopoly of violence in a school classroom. But I mean, if a kid's going to swing at me, I'm not just going to stand there like a bobblehead and just be like, okay, get at me.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about the left is that they're like entire, so the left does have, a lot of people say that the left doesn't use logic.
Let me finish. And sorry, and you just reminded me. The logic behind the left is because this student decided to go up to you, they can push you, they can punch you, because by you enforcing order, you just became Gestapo, you just became a Nazi.
Yeah, that's the entire thing. It doesn't matter if these people broke the law. Like, the left does use logic and reason. The logic and reason is that they are brown and they should be allowed to be here. It does not matter what law was broken. There's nothing else matters. This is the only thing that matters.
Law doesn't matter. Else. It is their feelings are the law, and this is the danger with extremists. Is the danger with having concentrated power, because you'll get to the point where put your finger into the in the air, see where the wind's blowing. Okay, this is what the law is. This is what I feel, and this is one of the things laid against Donald Trump. And I can honestly, I can see that argument. I can totally see that argument because, I mean, his first priority obviously is not the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. We're at the point where it's not the point for pretty much any politician unless you're named Thomas Massey or Rand Paul.
Yeah, but libertarians.
Okay.
We'll get into libertarians later. Here we go. All right, so now the ICE agent's macing him.
Get out, push, gets back up.
More mace.
Air mace.
At this point, ICE is obviously going to take this man into custody because he's laid hands on an ICE agent.
Yeah, he's getting grabbed.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
Is that your dog barking? It's really funny because it sounds like your dog was barking on the scene.
Yeah, the video.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So yeah, he's dead. It's still almost impossible.
So
It's still almost impossible to tell what happened from that.
This is the worst angle in the history of angles. We have no idea what happened, and this is the problem. This is everyone just starts. People see this, and they just start yapping. They just start having their opinions when they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and then we also have this. This is a closer angle, and it's slowed down. So, okay, so there you have his right hand. Now, at this point, I believe they already took the gun off of him, correct?
I think, okay, so from what I've been seeing, I think the gun was already taken by this point, and it's a cell phone.
I don't know.
It's hard to see. I don't know.
No, that's fine. Oof, brutal. It's just you can't even.
There's
What?
What are we seeing here?
We're seeing that
Yeah,
ICE.
but that okay. Okay. At this point, it doesn't matter whether he's drawing the gun or not.
Hey, your dog is really barking.
I'm gonna have to shut him up.
All right, hold on.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, what are we seeing here? Because if he's, according to the caption, he's reaching into his holster or into his pocket or something like that. I don't know. I think part of this is if you are surrounded by cops and you decide to make a movement to reach towards a place like a pocket or something, that's kind of retarded.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That's
I mean, just the act of being, and of course, the Democrats have been cheering this on. They have been purposely telling these people to get out there, film ICE agents, and then Peggy, what's her name? Peggy Flanagan.
I posted that video. Yeah,
Peggy Flanagan, Tim Walz's second in command in Minneapolis, has been telling people to put their body on the line, and it's insane because this is happening in a lot of different states. Obviously, you had the whole, Leering Center Somalian thing that drew attention to Minnesota. Minnesota is essentially occupied communist territory in most respects. They have insane policies regarding trans kids. They do have concealed carry, which is interesting. They have a lot of farmers and hunters there, so that might have something to do with that. But like, the Democrats have been actively instigating this, and you'll see later we have some libertarians saying that ICE is instigating this, and it's like, well, no, if the local authorities would just be like, help ICE and get these illegal immigrants out of there, none of this would be happening. So the left agitates creates the problem. Donald Trump says some inflammatory rhetoric, but the left agitates, creates the problem, creates the reaction, and then the left then basically is the cry bully that cries out as they strike you. It's phenomenal. I mean, it is just like it is like Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals 101 is exactly what they're applying here. That's my issue. The issue is that this poor son of a bitch should not be out there. But the fact that he believes that men that are taking illegal immigrants, most of them are violent criminals, and deporting their asses, he believes that is an act of fascism in and of itself. And that's all because of the left. These people, if you talk to one leftist, you've essentially talked to all of them. It is a pure hive mind mentality.
I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, I disagree. They have a right to be out there. You have a right to freedom of travel, and
okay. Yeah, no, they don't have a right to try to impede and push federal law enforcement. That's that.
Okay, no, you're absolutely right. No, I'm just my inner gay libertarian was coming out when you said.
Yeah, no, like feel free if you want to video. If you want to videotape, if you want to videotape people doing things, yeah, absolutely. Well, to me, I'm actually frustrated with the whole thing because I just want body cams on the ICE agents. It'll keep any of the bad ones in line. It'll expose the bad ones. It'll protect the people they're arresting. It'll protect these stupid white leftists that are interfering and protesting. And it'll also most likely draw attention to the fact that a lot of these people that ICE is dealing with are violent, psychopathic offenders. Just like it exonerated all of the PD, the police department people, it exonerated all of them because it showed the depravity of the people they're dealing with. Putting body cams on them solves everything. Just do it.
The push for body cams from the far left was such a self-own.
So
my gosh.
So funny. I know they're like, it's like, oh, surely they're killing these people because they're evil cops. And then you have like crazy black women trying to throw hot water on cops. You have a crazy black woman coming out with a knife trying to stab a cop for no reason. And they're like, oh, they just don't talk about it anymore. It's so funny. All of a sudden, cops randomly just stopped executing black people on the streets once body cams got introduced. Funniest phenomenon ever. and then we also have just to move on. This was just funny. So the hippies.
Now we are going to hear.
We're seeing a lot of these people that are radicalized. They're not mostly, but a lot of them are older white boomers. If you talk to these older white boomers and some of these like protests and stuff, they openly advocating for murder because these people believe these DEI policies and the extreme left turn of the left, like towards communism and socialism. They thought it was like basically the culmination of their project when like black people are granted the right to vote, Civil Rights Act passed, the sexual revolution. They thought we were finally reaching that pinnacle, and they're losing their minds because they view Trump as the ultimate repudiation of the idea, their vision for the world of what it was. So you're seeing the leftist boomers' entire reason for being unraveling before their eyes, and they're not taking it well.
40 minutes from now, we are going to hear. We got another situation here. Let's just listen in for a moment.
No! Fuck you! Stop! Look out! Down! Just chill. Okay. I'm fine. I didn't even breathe anything. I'm just angry. I'm 7 years old. Fucking angry.
Why?
Oh.
I think this is right as the guy was shot at home. This is the funniest part.
I don't think I'll need it, but we'll try it.
And the boomer, just like he came, disappears into the mist as his dreams for a completely multicultural, egalitarian society collapse before his very eyes.
It's just so funny because they're just.
It's the funniest thing ever. It's just, I don't know. It's just like.
What's funny about this is so many of these people are, oh, I'm angry, and they can't ever really voice or explain why they're angry. They don't understand. This is, obviously this is someone who normally would probably be at home chilling with their grandkids, having a regular normie life, but because I don't know reasons, you decided to be on Twitter and social media social media all the time and just rile yourself up.
Yep.
What are you fucking doing? What are you actually doing? Who are you defending? You have no idea about anything that's going on here. You just think that you have to do this because you're on the blue team or you're on the red team. Like, this is so dangerous.
Now, this is where let me go on a little tangent here. I wanted to delve into I want to delve into the psychology of the lib. Okay, so a recent CNN poll. CNN, they're not as leftist as MSNBC, but they're definitely left-leaning. Representatives of the regime. A recent poll was released. 79% of the people that took the poll, which you could imagine are mostly leftist Democrats, do not support trans women, men, in women's spaces. Okay. Now, at the same time, if you polled those same people and asked them, do you believe that trans rights are human rights? 79%, most likely, if not more, would say, yes, of course, I believe trans rights are human rights. Now, what are trans rights? It is men being allowed in women's spaces. So there is this insane dissonance in their minds in which they simultaneously do not support trans women in women's spaces while at the same time supporting trans rights. So there's this dissonance, and it's mostly because they're completely removed from reality. Almost none of them have applied logic and reason to their positions, specifically when it comes to trans rights. Now, I've talked to these people, and one of them said to me, they don't want men in women's spaces. They don't want kids in women's spaces. They don't want all of this. But they do support men cutting themselves up to make them look like women. And then I look at them and I go, wait, you support a man doing everything in his power to try to get himself to present as a woman so then he could operate in the world as supposedly a woman, but you don't support creating legal measures and allowing them to actually operate as a woman and go into women's spaces. That's what it is. It is like talking to children, like retarded children. They have never once ever thought out any of their positions. It is purely the worship of the group that they view as marginalized. There's nothing else to it. That's why they must be. You just have to like spray them with the water hose and put them in a corner and say like, you can't participate in these discussions anymore, because it's like removing a irrational child or a person experiencing psychosis as you're trying to solve a problem.
That's
all it is.
I'll be a little more charitable. And just because I have a personal experience with this, the monster that is created by racism, sexism, bigotry is huge, dude. I was not to beat a dead horse. I was fucking assaulted. My life was threatened in front of my eyes, and my first question was, when I was asked, "Do you want to press charges?" was, "Is this racist?" Like, I could have died, and my first question was, "Oh my god, are people going to think that I don't like black people?" What? That don't. And especially as if you're a woman, you have much higher empathy. You're supposed to care about others more, and that's obviously been hijacked. That's been over years and years and decades. And I mean, what I realized getting close to 40 is there's something that happens in the human body that makes you realize, oh, maybe I want to have a child. When you're in your 20s, you think all the negative things, but then you get into your 30s, you mellow out. You get into your 40s, and you're like, oh crap, I haven't done a very important part of the human life cycle. Maybe I should do this. And so unfortunately, what happens is that need is there, but you don't actually meet the desire by doing things yourself. So you sort of outsource it. You give that empathy to others.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's one of the things that I don't. That's one of the things that I despise most about the left is that they weaponize one of the best parts of being a woman, this empathy and this love, and they weaponize it in order to push for policies and political opinions that actively harm everyone. It makes me so mad. So Colin Wright is a lib. This is a man who was a leftist, voted
He
Democrat,
is?
progressive. Yeah, but he's a lib. He's like James Lindsay kind of, except he's not as deranged as James Lindsay is. Now he's a lib, and Colin Wright has honestly been one of the most impressive people that have emerged from he's basically he's one of the left me's. He's a, what do they call it? It's not the exact phrase, but a disgruntled liberal. Disaffected liberal is what they call it.
Hey.
And this is what he said about, so Minneapolis leftists seem to believe that finding a clear example of an unjustified shooting by ICE agents means enforcing immigration law in the city must end, but that makes no sense. Such agents should be held accountable and deportations should continue unabated. Now, he is more based than your most based libertarian. Like because when I deal with like TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminist, gender critical women, they're all completely against this ICE thing because at their heart, they're still leftists, they're still communists, they just don't want to involve the Troons in their revolution. But Colin Wright has not gone back to his leftist positions and now views things in a more objective and like sort of conservative right-wing way. And I just wanted to comment on it because it's been extremely impressive because the right hates the left me's a lot of the time because they eventually always side with the left, even if it's like wrong. And Colin Wright has not done that. It's just very impressive to me.
I look at both of these tweets and I'm doing the not bad Obama face. These are solid
yeah,
tweets.
exactly.
He's absolutely right. Yes, even if there's something egregious, that has no bearing on the legal orders of enforcing the law on immigration. Like that's still going to happen. That's a separate discussion of ICE training and putting body cameras and things like that. But yeah, the deportations shall continue. This is the issue that people can't handle. If you lost, obviously there was an election, and obviously part of the election was, are we going to deport people? And considering that, almost every county in the United States shifted to the right, that's a mandate from the people if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, exactly. So you posted this.
Landier?
This post is from Landier.
Yes.
Yeah. So he says, I've slowed this down in the huddle. One or more ICE officers shout gun. This caused another officer to draw his sidearm. Another officer removed the man's sidearm and then walked away, but it was discharged negligently. See for yourself. The SIG, apparently the SIG P320.
There's a follow-up. I have a very good video in the thread.
Okay,
and so
let's
play this, and then we'll go to the other video, which is jaw-dropping.
Okay, here we go. So close up. So was that an ICE agent right there?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, so the ICE agent is running away from the situation. He has the man's SIG in his hand. And he's slowing it down here. So somebody shouted gun because that guy had a gun. And is that what caused the other ICE agents to shoot? Because at the same time, the man was also reaching for his waistband. So in the moment, they thought the man had a gun, but he did not have a gun.
Right, but looking at it here, if the ICE agent has the gun,
yeah.
If the ICE agent, hold on, pause it. If the ICE agent has the gun, at that point, I mean, there's why the officers shoot. There's really three options. They saw him move. They saw him, do suspicious things and reach it somewhere. They just executed him on the spot, or they heard the shot and thought that he had a weapon. Like the thing, and the overarching point that I sort of have is, how many seconds was this? Like from the ICE agents on him to this to one of them from them yelling gun to one of them grabbing it to the shooting. How many seconds passed? Like 3, 4?
Yeah, barely.
Okay, like there's all of us, ourselves included. We're looking at this like it's a football game.
Yeah,
we're looking at this like we've seen so many movies and TV shows where the main character, they go into bullet time, The Matrix, playing Hitman or playing one of those shooters. You go into bullet time, everything slows down. Mm-hmm. You then turn into Sherlock, Benedict Cumberbatch, you go into your mind palace and you're thinking, what shall I do about this situation? Like you have all the fucking time in the world to make a decision.
I don't have a mind palace. I have a mind shanty. It's just like it's like a disheveled shed in which it's really hard for me to find things because I keep forgetting where I put them. Anyways,
but all of this is so much backseat quarterbacking,
Monday morning quarterbacking.
Monday morning quarterbacking. Well, like this is.
So that's what I'm saying. So okay, so if the gun was taken away from him, now at that point somebody shouts gun because they see that the gun has been taken. So they're like, oh shit, there's a gun. But at the same time, the man is reaching for something, but nothing was there. I mean, honestly, I'd be okay. Gut reaction, I would be okay with them canning the ICE agents that participated in the shooting because at the end of the day, even though the guy's hands were kind of moving, he wasn't actually like reaching for a gun in that moment because the gun was already taken away. Unless the guy didn't realize that the gun was taken away and he wanted to reach for the gun to try to shoot the agents. But at the end of the day, he didn't have a gun. Again, I don't like what's the law in this instance. You know, we need like a impartial lawyer to look at this and be like, hey, this is what would happen.
Oh God. This is where I admit I'm very gun stupid. Oh gosh, I'm just shooting myself in the foot right now. But I need to just be honest. I'm not a military veteran or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just have a basic question. If the gun was just grabbed and it shot, does that mean the guy was carrying around a loaded gun?
Yeah. Now here's the thing, though. He was legally allowed to do that.
No, I know.
Concealed carry.
No, I know. But I'm just thinking, like, putting myself in the situation. I'm going to go and protest and fuck around with ICE agents. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to carry around my loaded gun.
Yep.
That's a really dangerous situation.
Oh, it's dumb.
I think it goes back to what I've been saying, suicidal delusion. You don't like you have the right to do that. I understand you have the right to do that, but we also understand a very special rule. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Like I totally have the right to call a police officer, even a minority police officer, the worst names in the world. But like, should I? And it goes to this whole thing of the difference between libertarianism and liberty versus libertinism and doing whatever the F you want. Like not to go off an old-timey tirade, but our founders and the idea behind freedom and the reason behind liberty and the pursuit of happiness is to do functional things that'll make the world around you and your life better, not to go into the middle of the street and take a dump because you think you have the right to do so. And this is the fundamental difference between people on the left and people on the right. It's functional freedom. Leftists are just like, well, I should be able to do this. I should be able to do whatever I want.
Now,
I'm going to be violent against you.
What's interesting is that now I know, I'm sure they're already running with it. So the left is going to be like, oh, you guys don't support the Second Amendment. Kyle Rittenhouse did the same thing. Okay, yeah, like maybe Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been out there. But here's the thing. Kyle Rittenhouse went out there, armed himself to protect himself.
He didn't interact with the police.
Exactly. And he was washing graffiti off of buildings. And he went there to, I think it was defend a car lot that some local people were running, and he was afraid he was going to be burned down. He lived very close to Kenosha, Wisconsin, which I actually do too. I live like an hour away from Kenosha, and that's where it happened, right? Kenosha.
White people are actually out of hand.
We really are, but the thing is like Rittenhouse went there and he only killed people when they were trying to attack him. He wasn't trying to purposely observe the police and then interfere with the law enforcement. So like the left, of course, right? What's that meme? The popular meme is like basically the left purposely misunderstands something so discourse becomes impossible. They love to take, like, if I say, hey, you shouldn't mutilate kids because of gender affirming care, they'll be like, yeah, but what about breast augmentations for severely large breasted women? And so they love to like take one thing and compare it to the other because they have some sort of superficial similarity, even though they're like extremely different in the actual nature of how they are. That's what they're going to be doing with Rittenhouse.
Hold on. The Rittenhouse thing is really interesting because I mean, this has happened a few years ago, and I'm fishing this from memory. But didn't Carl Rittenhouse, after he fired shots, didn't he try to go to the police and surrender?
He did. He went to the police to surrender.
Okay. Oh my God, I fucking hate these leftists. So you're gonna take something that on the face you think looks similar because you have white guy with gun, but suddenly the situations are actually the opposite. You have one situation where the guy's like, "Oh crap, something happened. Let me go surrender to the cop," and the cop is like, "I don't know if I'm gonna accept your surrender. Whatever. Let's not litigate that." And then you have another situation where guy actively resisting.
Yep. One of the funniest things about Rittenhouse, is that the two people that he killed, one was a child rapist and the other one was a serial woman abuser.
It's like it's a part of this is just these leftists just go. I just can't. Okay, so
I think that. Really quick, I do think that the reason why the libertarians often side with the leftists is because if you have one group of libertarians standing over here and then one group of leftists standing over here, and you throw one rock into each group, the odds of hitting a pedophile are pretty substantial.
1 in 3. Hold on. Okay, so as it is now, what are your thoughts on the shooting?
I mean, super unfortunate. Obviously, the guy, he's the one that's out there that's instigating because he's coming from the perspective that they are illegitimate and they're Nazis. So anything that they do is inherently illegitimate in his eyes. Guy shouldn't have been there. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they took his gun. He was unarmed. And then someone shouts gun. And then in the moment, that ICE officer assumes that he has another gun. And then at the same time, the dude is kind of reaching down around his waistband. So it makes sense why the officer shot him in that moment based on what was happening in the moment. However, I don't know how that applies legally. Like, the guy didn't have a gun at that point, and somebody just because somebody shouts gun and the guy has his hand at his waistband, I'm not sure that legally clears you to shoot that guy. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
It's complicated.
Yeah, very complicated.
But it is super complicated. My opinion on the actual shooting is, and I mean, this is sort of a cop-out, is I don't have enough information. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy that you have such good video, and then in those 3 seconds where it counts, everything becomes blurry. Everything becomes Nintendo 64 graphics suddenly, and it's extremely upsetting. I think, once again, suicidal delusion. You don't know what the situation you're putting yourself in. You think that you're engaging in the freedom to petition and the freedom to assemble, and you think you're engaging in a nonviolent protest. You are not. And it's crazy because white people have this much more than Hispanic people, is this bubble around you. If you step up to someone, there's something called personal space. Like, if someone walks up to you and they're 6 inches or a foot away from you, suddenly you're gonna back up, or you're gonna be like, "Hey, why are you so close in my space?" And this is an actual thing. Personal space is an actual thing. It exists. just walk up to someone. It's just like on the street and then tell me what happens.
And there's so much context, right? Like, I mean, ICE have been attacked over and over again. People are ramming their cars, interfering with their investigations. At the same time, a couple months ago, you had some stupid leftists try to assassinate someone in ICE, and then he ended up murdering 3 illegal immigrants. So it's like this cacophony of madness, and the left is only amplifying that. They're only turning the temperature up because they want ICE to leave. At the same time, I'm sure that Tim Walz and Jacob Fry and the rest of the people in Minnesota, it's funny to me that the reason why they're there, the reason why this is being amplified, is because of Nick Shirley's work with the Leering Center. But at the same time, all of this new madness has completely shifted society's attention away from the fraud into what is ICE. It's now become about ICE versus crazy white libs as they try to arrest the immigrants, but nobody's talking about the fraud anymore. So I'm assuming that Tim Walz is really fucking enjoying this.
Oh no, I mean, obviously Tim Walz has a great incentive to push civil war as opposed to him getting in legal trouble or anything like that. And I mean, you saw this, bro. You saw this with Bill Clinton. Didn't Bill Clinton start randomly bombing other countries just to create stories to push away from Monica Lewinsky? But what I actually think is going on, no, here's the actual kicker. They did succeed.
Mm-hmm.
No one's talking about the Epstein files. That's the real trick right there. Like this, that's the maybe from Walz this is an unintended consequence, but let me tell you that we're not talking about Epstein, and the federal government is very, very happy. Pam Bondi is very happy that she had to write a very angry letter towards Tim Walz and to say you and finger wagging, you better listen to us, as opposed to making any sort of commentary on the Epstein files. So I'm just saying.
Now, the next video you wanted to play, was it the guy doing the tutorial on the SIG? All right, here we
go. Put some input into the slide somewhere.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, pause. I was going to say before, there is a reason why I asked the question before this video, because, yeah, I'm sort of in the air about that. But check this out.
Right. Some input into the slide somewhere. Will it go off again? Will it release? Let's see.
That's crazy.
That's 3 in a row.
What?
Why does anybody even have this gun? Why is this gun still on the market?
Screw out.
You tickle a gun and it goes off? What?
Dude, it's actually insane.
Number 4. Let's try it again. Let me show you. Fully functioning striker safety. All right. Should we do it with the magazine again? Let's put the magazine back in.
Take the SIG off the market? Why does this gun exist if you could tickle its taint and it goes off? What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Angel? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think this is a situation where, let's say guns don't kill people, people kill people. Yeah. And oh my God, this is I'm just thinking of the American Dad scene where he's arguing with his daughter and he puts a gun on the table and he points at the gun and he tells the gun to kill. Now, if the pistol was a SIG, then it would have just randomly shot off. By the way, that'd be a very good meme to make right now on Sora. So I'm going to look into that. Yeah, so most definitely, I don't know what happened with the video, but it lagged on the 4th one. But when the first few seconds, you clearly see he just essentially puts a little bit of weight on it and gun goes off. So this is damn. Okay, if we're going to introduce the confounding variable of, hey, the gun is kind of defective and randomly went off. Ooh, this really, really complicates everything so much more.
Yeah, it does. And then okay, so we're gonna get into
you can't, because you I'm sure leftists will you can easily make the argument eventually. Oh well, the ICE agent purposely shot the gun so they can use it as an excuse to assassinate this guy. But as we can clearly see, if you just tickle it in the taint and it goes off, no. You can't.
No, dude, these people are. Somebody posted. They're like, to be clear, they didn't murder him because he had a gun. They murdered him because they had a camera. And I was like, that's interesting. Then why didn't they start slaughtering all of the other people that had cameras that were videotaping the incident? It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything they say is nonsense. That's why, like, they actually contribute nothing to the discourse. It's just agitation, just insanity. Get rid of them, slide the classical liberals in there, but banish, if this is Game of Thrones, I would banish James Lindsay to the wall. And he could guard for the Gnostics instead of the White Walkers. Once the Gnostics come, James Lindsay can come tell us about the Gnostics.
If you have a situation where someone, officer yells gun and the gun goes off, and it wasn't one of the agents, or one of the police officers, 99% of the time it's because the perp or the person they're trying to detain or arrest is trying to shoot at them.
Guys, Angel and I are possibly considering going to Minneapolis eventually if this keeps going. And I really do hope we run into this guy. He seems like a nice guy that we could have a beer with.
Yeah. My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up. Okay, go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You've missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up.
I like how he censored the video, but he didn't remove his actual words, so you can still hear
I
it.
was gonna say, was that an attempt at censoring? Because not only was that off, you forgot to silence the bad word.
I can't believe a leftist doesn't understand how to do something properly. That's crazy.
Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up, ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was going to happen. This is exactly what I said was going to fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns.
Amazing.
Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people.
Literal Nazis.
In the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
Fed post.
Now he's a very tough man, right? This is a man who embraces masculinity and is a very tough guy who also, shockingly enough, is also a aspiring possible tranny.
I do this all year.
This is right here. This is an act of resistance against fascism.
All the time. I'm out and about like this because I do it for me all year. All the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm a fucking blue collar fuck of a dude all day long. And then at least a few times every week, I like to get real clean and pretty and go out, shoot pool or get dinner.
Oh my God. I love these people. Whenever they take videos, they never calibrate the camera so it reverses the image. But look at his tattoo. His tattoo on his chest
I do it.
says resistance.
Oh my God.
Oh, hold on.
And pretty and go out, shoot pool or get dinner, maybe go dance. You never fucking know, right? But I don't need a fucking parade to celebrate. I don't need to be groped and harassed and catcalled and treated like a piece of meat by a bunch of fucking cis women who fucking give me side eyes in public when I do this.
Yeah, because you're a degenerate freak with tattoos all over his face, dressed like a woman.
Yeah, that's disgusting. You know what? I'm going to say, like, tattoos are gay as hell, man.
Hey, I have tattoos, but no, the way that people like,
I will. Okay, maybe that's our major. I don't.
No, so I'm not a big tattoo guy, but the way that these people and other people like him they're actually, so if you ever see these women walking around with just like black and like kind of just like black tattoos, and they're sort of like all over the place and there's no rhyme or reason to them, that is actually a form of communism. They're called socialist tattoos, and they gain traction in the communist underground in America. And it's become so popular and widespread that these women that don't even openly identify as communists are getting them because of the subculture that created it, and they don't even understand why it was created in the first place.
Is that also kind of like queering your body?
It's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's ever since I was. I probably said this before, but I don't know. I was young. I saw people getting tattoos. My first thought was everyone's going to get it, and then it's not going to be as cool as you think it is. And I don't know. I just, I don't like it.
I agree. Like if I could go back, I wouldn't have gotten. I haven't gotten a tattoo in 16 years. It's something I did when I was young. And then apparently we also have leftists chanting to burn down Fort Snelling, which is where ICE is located. Burn down Fort Snelling! Burn down Fort Snelling! What did we see when Charlie Kirk died? Peaceful vigils, people praying to God, people, advocating for life, people for mourning his death. And then the left creates vigils where there's candles, and all they're doing is calling for more death.
Yeah. For the people.
What'd you say?
No, keep on going. Keep on going. I'll say it later.
Oh, that's clever. Melt ice. Get it? So because it's ice, and ice melts. Very clever. Fuck ice. Love always wins.
We will murder ICE. Love and peace.
It's like rape women. I love women.
Oh my God, these people. This looks like there's 2 steps away from recreating Chaz Chop, the autonomous.
They're trying to. They tried to do it before after Renee Good got shot. But then it got disassembled by the authorities overnight. But they're starting to like take bits of garbage and wood pallets and stuff, and they're starting to try to like corridor off different sections of the city to create like obstructions to get in the way of ICE and like federal authorities.
Look, real talk. We said that we wanted to go there.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have to appreciate the quagmire and the dangerous place that this is. I mean, this is a bleeding Kansas type situation that happened before the Civil War. I mean, for people who don't know, essentially, you had light. The U.S. government thought it was a really good idea to let pro-slave people and anti-slave people flood a new territory, a brand new state. So
what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Which side has greater numbers on whether they're going to ban slavery or legalize slavery. And you had towns were attacked and burned down. People were killed. They were taken out of their houses at night and shot. There's a few times that happened by John Brown and his sons. Things got really heated. Things got crazy. And we're going in the constant direction of just escalation. One, we're never going to see a Civil War, American Revolution type situation where everyone's like lined up in a row with their freaking, assault rifles and like shooting. No, it's not going to happen. If anything, it's going to be what the Troubles looked like in Ireland.
Yeah, well, like it's basically like
it's going to be terrorist attacks. It's going to be these people who are going to go out and they're going to be in a big crowd. They're going to pop it. They're going to pop shots at ICE, and they're going to start shooting at them from. Hold on, wait. They're going to start shooting at them from places. I don't want to say too much, but I mean sloped roofs, because I don't want to give them ideas. But this is going to escalate, and you're going to have a situation where these ICE agents are going to get sniped, and. At that point, and at this point, people on the right are begging for the Insurrection Act. No, I mean, the only way you're going to see an Insurrection Act is if they burn down Fort Snelling. Like there has to be a Fort Sumter type situation where they start acting, or they start acting like Middle Eastern terrorists, where they swarm an embassy and just burn it down. And
well, yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that we're going to see that. It's like we're already seeing that. You got like guys firing at ICE agents, killing illegal immigrants. You got crazy white ladies driving cars at ICE agents. You have Donald Trump almost assassinated a couple times. Like it's like,
yeah. But when so I'm glad you said that, because this clarifies everything. Those are individual acts of one person going off. The next escalation is when you have something coordinated. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't want to give too much, but if you have 3 or 4 people, put ICE under siege or something like that, that puts this whole enforcing immigration law in a whole new light. And not even that would, I think, invoke the Insurrection Act, because I think no matter what happens, if you invoke the Insurrection Act, you lose all of your political capital. You will be seen as the aggressor, regardless of what happens, unless it's something extreme like, oh my gosh, an entire fort was burned and then 50 ICE agents perished. Like, it has to be something so shocking that the American people have never seen before. And maybe even still, he would still lose all his political capital.
There is an argument, though, at a certain point you have to stop caring about optics. But I understand what you're saying. But hey, okay, so we have women driving cars at ICE agents. We have people interfering with ICE agents. We have chaos in the streets, things being burned. People are ripping people out of cars, trying to stab them. Why might people be doing this? What would possibly push people to do this? I can't think of any reason. I really can't think of
But
anything.
he served on the China Commission in Congress, ironically enough, as co-chair with Marco Rubio. We used to bring in Chinese political prisoners, and we would ask them, when we speak up and call out your government, is it bad? And they said, well, in the short run, it's bad because they torture us. But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. And the idea is,
I love that. He said something very profound. Says the crazy white woman.
right now is we have to be speaking up. We have to call it out. You are doing everything, and our neighbors are doing everything. And I can't stress enough on this. We're winning it because we're doing it with Minnesota grit, Minnesota humor, Minnesota decency. Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and cause problems. We're going to cause good trouble. So,
Good
so
trouble.
let's, of course, yes, please put your body on the line so I don't go to jail for the rest of my life. Please, please, please.
Yep. And of course, he has to reference John Lewis. They're like, oh yes, famed Marxist, black identitarian John Lewis, a man purely manipulated by communists in order to sow division and hatred in the country. He's got to like reference the. John Lewis is like, that's like the left is largely a religious or a secular like religious cult. John Lewis is like he might as well be like one of the apostles essentially. So of course he has to reference John Lewis. Now that's just typical lib talk. It is dangerous knowing what's going on. But this, to me, this crossed a line in a very significant way. I just love how they had to choose the gayest, most queer person to be the sign language translator. Like they could, they just had to go with that. Is the only option.
Had any conversations with the president, with the federal government, and is there any indication that they are going to pull out or back down?
Well, I spoke twice this morning, shortly after I received the call of this shooting. I spoke with the president's chief of staff, and first request was to get her people out of there, to get these federal agents out of there. They were going to cause more chaos. And second call is, with no uncertain terms, that we will investigate this. We will not be stonewalled. What we've already seen, and you saw it this morning.
It's like if somebody set a fire to your house and then you tried to put out the fire, and then the person trying to set the fire to your house tries to stop you from putting out the fire. And they're like, why don't you just leave your house? You're making it worse.
Oh my God.
It's
Before any investigation is done, you have the most powerful people in the federal government spinning stories and putting up pictures, and unrelated people who we don't know anything about, and a picture of a firearm to try and spin a narrative. And I ask Americans, this will end when enough Americans say this will end. Do I have any confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing? No, I don't have a lot of confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing. I do have a lot of confidence that the majority of the American people will do the right thing. And I think there cannot be very many people across this country looking right now, after all the reporting that's been done, after everything that's been said, under the pretense that they are here about immigration reform, and quit referring to these people as law enforcement. They are not law enforcement. We have law enforcement who do an incredible.
I've never seen. I've never seen such a brazen green light for people to start attacking and killing law enforcement than a elected official telling his listeners, his followers, that they're not. If they're not, it's crazy. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen an elected official say in my entire life. Lost for words, honestly. Lost for words.
That is wow, what a dog whistle for the side that likes to talk about dog whistles.
Right?
Oh geez. Now, here's the thing. Here's something that's very important is, and you cannot look at what leaders say. This is the golden rule in international politics, and I also believe all politics. What these people say doesn't matter. Their actions are more important. If Tim Walz believed he was so correct and right, then why isn't he running for re-election?
Yeah.
There we go. Because he knows that he is cooked. He cannot push away the fraud allegations forever. The only thing he can do is get up every day and hope that another American was shot or killed in Minnesota, so he can survive another 24 hours. That's the only thing this man cares about. Yep. And the fact that so many people do not have theory of mind, and so many people on both sides, they give such a pass to the people they look up to, or the side that they support, that I don't know. I think in general, all citizens should be wary of what leaders say.
AOC, Americans are being killed in the street by their government. Our Constitution is being shredded and our rights are dissolving. Resist. Senate Democrats should block ICE funding this week. Activate the National Guard. We can and must stop this. So how is this not a call for violent confrontation between different federal authorities in the street? I don't know how to take this.
This is a call. This is obviously a call to escalation. And what's the trend? There's no de-escalation. It's all, we just have to continue. We just have to continue this and see what happens. But
yeah, I mean, both sides, each side views the other side is crossing the Rubicon. Eli Wiesel, this horrible black man. You've probably seen him. He's got a giant gray fro. He used to appear on Joy Reid's Hate White People Hour show. And he, what did he say? Hold on.
Hold on. What's interesting about the first comment on this AOC thing, he pulled a gun on federal agents. I mean, did he? Because the only time I really see the gun clearly is when the gun is being taken away from him.
I do have to shit on libertarians for a minute because
you also posted something about comic Dave Smith. Me too.
Yeah. So Dave Smith, first off, he's an idiot. He's thrown his lot in with Candace Owens, who is a crazy person. I'm an immigration restrictionist. I believe that we have the right to remove any and all people who enter our country illegally. Also, ICE is out of fucking control. A bunch of pussies, and this is his inner libertarian coming out. A bunch of pussies drunk on power, going around intentionally escalating violent interactions and intimidating U.S. citizens. They create these tragic situations, and after this gigantic show of force, they won't deport a fraction of the illegals who enter under Biden. This is simply not worth it, which is just insane, because if the left was not agitating, if they weren't telling people to get out in the streets, ICE would just be operating in the background, and we would never hear about it except for the deportation numbers. So for him to put the onus, hold ICE accountable. If ICE shoots someone and the person doesn't deserve shooting, if they commit atrocious acts, hold them accountable. But his framing, this is why libertarians always eventually side with leftists. They're very similar in their utopia vision for America. And the left views, unless the left is in control, the left views authority as inherently, like, they view it as if the authority does not deserve to be in authority, like ICE. The libertarians have the exact same view of authority, except they view all of authority as illegitimate, because they basically want roving gangs of like posses out committing out enforcing the various laws, and they should just be in control of their own life. They view the state as like inherently illegitimate, and that always comes out in these kinds of scenarios every single time. Like, I just can't, like, I don't know. Libertarians I feel like you should have one libertarian in your cabinet to be a like stopgap to curb extreme governmental excess, but I would never want a libertarian to be in control of any type of movement, because they always resort to this kind of bullshit every single time, which brings me to Matt Walsh. So I love Matt Walsh. I just do. So Matt Walsh, he's been arguing with Dave Smith. This ICE situation is really complex. My take is more nuanced. I want our immigration laws to be enforced, but I just want them to do it without using any force, and without anyone ever getting hurt, and without anything sad or upsetting happening ever. And if the people were trying to deport don't want to be deported, or if liberal activists don't want us to deport them, then obviously in that case we shouldn't do it. But I'm totally conservative on this issue. Unless people get really mad at me, then never mind. Please don't yell, I'm sorry.
I saw that.
He's so good. I'm telling you, he's the funniest person on the right. Matt Walsh, his destiny is to be a right-wing theater kid. It really is, which is funny because he hates theater kids. But at his heart, he's a right-wing theater kid. He has done probably, like, the What is a Woman documentary was hilarious, but it was also equal parts horrible because it was showing what was happening to kids. Between that and his Am I Racist stuff, between him showing up at the Democratic National Convention dressed as a Kamala Harris supporter and then just wandering in the background of a shot of Chuck Schumer being interviewed, funniest man on the right.
Oh my God, he
He's so
has
funny.
the best dry humor ever.
Yes.
It's hard. It is so difficult to do dry humor correctly.
It really is. He's absolutely
because he's the only person in the world who could have done What is a Woman, because you couldn't have done it 5 seconds in. You'd have been like, this person, all these people are psychopaths, and you would have just ran out of every situation. I wouldn't have been able to handle it either. No, only he could.
He has this one still shot. It's like a screen grab of an image of when the leftist says something, he has this like smug look of disgust on his face. Just his mere facial expression like gives me the cackles. Like I just start cackling uncontrollably. But also, have you seen this? Apparently, leftist advocates have resorted to cannibalism. Federal agent's finger bitten clean off by an anti-ICE rioter or protester.
Whoa, what?
Look at
Oh, that
finger.
is. Oh.
And then look at there's the image.
Oh my God, that is.
And there he is. There he is. That's apparently these are the. Look at this. Is that a woman pretending? I think that's a woman pretending to be a man. I think.
Oh my God.
It's hard to tell. It's really annoying that like sometimes you can see like an extremely well photoshopped version of someone and you think it's a woman, but then you have to look closely. Like the way that they've blurred the lines of reality. So when I see on first glance, I'm like, oh, that person almost looks attractive. I immediately have to think, wait, is that a person that's a man and they're using a bunch of filters to make it look more like a woman? Because whenever you see a trans person in real life, you're like, oh, that's a dude. But then sometimes they use these filters and these manipulations in order to make it look like they appear to be like, the best example is Brianna Wu. Brianna was not attractive in the slightest. You could tell that they're a man, but there are extremely photoshopped images where he looks more feminine, but then you actually see him and he actually looks like one of the ghouls from the caves from the movie The Descent. It drives me nuts how they've manipulated reality, but this is one of my favorite tweets of all time. Will Stansel is developing a taste for human flesh. Posted in response to Minnesota rioter bites ICE officer's finger off. And then Will Stansel. Have you ever heard Will Stansel talk?
So I it's funny. I saw this video and I just went, oh my gosh, it's Will Stansel. I have to watch this.
The best part is people are comparing it to Where's Waldo, because there'll just be videos of like the protests and stuff, and then Will Stansel just walks into the frame.
Oh my God, where's Will? Oh,
where's
my God,
Will?
this could be a thing. Where's Will? Oh God. Okay. We have Patrick. We have work to do.
If we went to Minneapolis and ran into Will Stansel, I would get his autograph. I would get it. I'm going to bring a black Sharpie. And if we run into him,
my God, no, if it happens, I'd be like, oh my God, Will Stansel. Oh my gosh, te amo tanto, mi favorito. I'd be speaking to him in broken Spanish, and I'd be like, oh my God, foto por favor, can I take picture with you? Oh, he would eat it up. It'd be amazing.
You would need to tell him that all of your family in Chile loves him, that he's very big in Chile.
I'd be like, oh my God, mi familia en Chile, we love you so much. And then when he looks at me, I'm just gonna turn and be like, it do be like that, Mr. Stansel.
I swear to God, speaking of tattoos, if we go to Minneapolis, I'm going to bring a black Sharpie. And if we run into Will Stancil, I'm going to have him have him sign my chest. And then I'll get the tattoo. I'll get the signature tattooed. I am making this promise to the Limiting Principle podcast, giant retarded baby listeners right now, that if we meet Will Stancil, this will happen. And then I will post proof of the Will Stancil tattoo. Listen to how this man talks.
He just needs the hat. You're right.
You just go. Go home.
Oh my God.
Go home. That's all we want. Just go home.
And then I posted this from the podcast account. Sure, what's happening in Minneapolis is sad, frustrating, aggravating. But have you been paying attention to the Stancil meme renaissance going on? Best Stancil meme since Mecha Hitler molested him. So somebody has started saying that the libs that are sacrificing themselves up there is essentially the lib equivalent to a jihad. So somebody created this image of Will Stancil. Do you think you will enter paradise without Allah proving which of you truly struggle for his cause and patiently endure? And he's just wearing.
This is beautiful. Oh my God.
No, the Will Stancil memes. Oh, top notch.
Fire and Brimstone Barry is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
No, Joe Barry he's had enough with the stuff. Joe Barry is. I have big problems with Joe Barry, theological differences, some of the stuff he does about Gaza, but he is not having it with the stuff in Minnesota. He's been spot on. He's been pretty badass.
Here's the thing. He's not wrong at all. You can act perfectly. You can do everything right, but just because you're on the other side, just because you're not, it could just be, oh, well, you don't identify yourself as trans or part of the LGBT community. So you know what? Therefore, F you. It doesn't matter. Oh, this person beat you. Well, they're on my side, so they could have shot you for all I care. Like you could be the nicest person in the world. You can follow the law. You can follow morality and respect. You can do everything right. But if the moment you say one word against them, that's it. They can destroy you and terrorize you and do all that. So he's absolutely right there. But I'm sorry, you people who want the Insurrection Act to be pushed to be announced tomorrow. It's not going to happen. You are not seeing the second order consequences, the third order effects, and so on and so on. You are not seeing this. And I get it. You're frustrated. You just want this to stop. But that's the point. That's the point of increasing the temperature. Can you handle this? Can you take this?
So here's Will Stancil out the mean streets of Minneapolis again. Now the people arrested for biting that agent's finger off, that's just allegedly. We have no idea if Will Stancil was the one that actually bit his finger off or not, because judging from this, you could tell that Will Stancil is a hard man.
They're shooting at me. They are shooting at me. Bunch of dogs. Oh, you stupid dogs. What are you doing? Hey, arrest these guys. They're coming for us. They're coming for us.
They're coming for us.
What are you doing? You killed someone, not us. You killed someone. Oh, who gives a crap? I got a gas mask. I don't care. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Come on, man.
I need a Will Stancil action figure with every facet of a personality that comes with the gas mask. One of the funniest things I saw posted yesterday was that if Will Stancil actually ended up dying in Minneapolis, everyone would forget about him, except for all of the right-wing accounts that constantly make fun of him. He would be memorialized forever in online right-wing memes. No one would ever. His legend would only grow in death on the right wing. The left would forget about him in 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
Everything he does is funny. Everything he does is fun. There's nothing. The best is when he calls for the deaths of his enemies on social platforms, social media platforms. The man is just an infinite treasure trove of hilarity.
So he's a lolcow, basically.
Yes, but the best kind. The absolute best kind.
Okay, speaking of lolcows.
To any ICE agent that thinks they're going to come into my home and terrorize me and my family.
Yeah, you better fix your hair there. Make yourself.
What is he slicking back? What the hell, man?
He's gotta make himself look presentable.
You will be met with lethal force. I will kill on sight, and I will shoot to kill if need be. ICE agents are not allowed in my home. If you come into my home to terrorize my family, I will see you as a threat, and I will kill you. Yes, you guys are terrorists.
Even look straight.
Bear in mind,
No.
I am very much armed and will do what I need to
This man should not be allowed to own firearms, and I am a very strict Second Amendment guy.
do to protect my family. I stand against ICE. Any ICE agents that show up to my home to terrorize my family will be dealt with immediately.
Dear Lord, I actually saw him comment on how about libs of TikTok, and he said this is some stupid lib lady. So he's so detached from the political world that he doesn't even understand the libs of TikTok is an account designed to make fun of libs. And he actually thought, what her name is, Shia Rychek or whatever. He actually thought that she was a lib, and so he started making fun of her based on the idea that she's a lib.
I mean, I think this is a person with they don't have average intelligence, and they are not well. And I mean,
I would say that
here's the thing.
He's handicapped.
I'm going to say something weird. They're intelligent enough to be aggressively retarded.
Yes. I mean, he's clearly like handicapped. Like there's something wrong with his brain, you know, like he's clearly I mean, I don't
This is what a lol cow is. This is someone who can't understand that what they're doing is actually embarrassing and humiliating. He doesn't know actually how insane and violent he sounds, and this is not. I don't know. This is sort of weird.
Yeah. So this is really fun. But to finish off really quick, I just want to end on a funny note. So I can't stand Candace Owens. Candace Owens could say something that I completely agree with about Israel, but the fact that she pronounces it Israel, it actually I can't listen to her because of that.
Wait. Pause. Okay, so first, when you mentioned Dave Smith and you mentioned that he's allied with Candace Owens. Okay, I think I'm the only person in the entire world who's like in this political space who does not know a fucking thing that Candace Owens has said in the last 3 months or in the last 4 months or since September 10th or whenever what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Well, what she does is
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
So what she does is that it's like if a dumb black lady who used to be a leftist scripter discovered 4chan and started saying all of these conspiracy theories. Now, I'm a big conspiracy theory guy. However, she operates completely in the realm of the unfalsifiable. So if I make fun of her, one of her little fans, her sycophantic weirdos, comes on my account, on my post and goes, yeah, but can you prove that she's wrong? And I'm like, well, yeah, but can you prove that she's right? And so she moves from thing to thing that is unfalsifiable and then keeps like shifting the goalposts and just goes from thing to thing. The majority of her listeners, I believe the majority of her listeners are women. So I feel like these more conservative minded women are listening to her instead of like watching like slop like The Bachelor or Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They just watch this. No, seriously, nothing she says can be proven. Nothing she says can be disproven. There's a new account called Candace Owens Trying to Read. And
oh my God.
I laughed out loud. Everybody uses the term blitzkrieg. Even the NFL football team say blitzkrieg.
No,
yes, it relates back to Germany. It's a bombardment strategy. So that's why we use it when you're going to bombard. And so I called it Blitzkrieg Week because we're just that German words. You can't even say blitz means lightning. Krieg means war. Last I checked, people are still allowed to speak German. And last I checked, everybody uses the terminology blitz. Krieg. Washington Post certainly does. Describing things that's happening at the White House.
It's just, oh my God. Okay. So hold on. On one hand, I don't want to attack her too much because, you know, the reason why people mispronounce words is because they read them and haven't seen anyone or heard anyone pronounce them. But at the same time, Bitch, you haven't heard the word blitzkrieg ever mentioned before? Are you
But
serious?
this entire, but the thing is, like, yeah, no, I agree with you, right? I usually don't make, I pronounced, there's the word awry. Things have gone awry. I read the word and then I tried to use it in a sentence and I said Aury. That was 20, that was 25 years ago. And my sister still makes fun of me to this day. Now, I agree with you.
Oh, me too. I did that like 25 years ago. My friends still make fun of me today. Oh my God.
Well, you know the song, it's like a kind of a fake sort of pop punk song. It's like bum 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 bum. I want to be sedated. Yes. I thought for the longest time, because it was played in a movie with Tom Arnold where he has to take care of children, and I thought it was bum 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 bum. I want a piece of Danish.
What?
I thought the guy was just singing about how he wanted a piece of Danish. He wanted, like, you know, like a pastry of some kind. But no, so with Candace Owens, yes, no, I agree with you. When people mispronounce things like that, it's because they haven't read them. But this entire account is dedicated to her inability to pronounce things correctly. It's hilarious.
No, okay, that reminds me of if you've ever listened to Patrick Bet-David enough, when he reads an article, he'll go like speed reading it, but mumbling, and he does that every 2 or 3 episodes. And that's just hilarious. Just, oh my gosh.
Hold on. Hold on. I thought we were done, but apparently not. Breaking: rioters now attacking ICE agents in Minneapolis.
Gregor?
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! What the fuck is wrong with you, asshole? You motherfuckers! You motherfuckers!
Well, I have to see what led to this, but now we have rioters and protesters rolling around on the ground with ICE agents. Yeah,
I'm telling you, look, it's just a numbers game. They're following exactly what what was her name? Peggy Flanagan and Tim Walz. They're putting their bodies on the line. They're doing exactly what their leaders are saying to do. So there you go.
And we have Barack Obama. Of course, Barack Obama. George Bush, at least George Bush went away mostly. Barack Obama has never gone anywhere. And of course, he's issuing about holding our government accountable for ICE. He just won't go away. He will never leave. Oh, wow. Look at this. Hey, wait. Chaz Chop 2 Electric Boogaloo, Minnesota edition. Oh man.
We need to. This is getting for real. But still, you're not going to get an insurrection act from Donald Trump, even if this is attempted. It has to escalate beyond that.
I don't know what it has to escalate to. I'm assuming once it happens, well, we'll see.
I'm glad you brought up Barack Obama, because did I post that video?
Wait, really quick. This is what I'm talking about. Joel Berry: if we lose heart every time a feral communist commits suicide by cop, our country isn't going to make it. A lot of based people are somehow gayer than Joel Berry. This should inspire deep reflection. outflanked by Catturd and Joel Berry. I want ICE to be even more aggressive to the domestic terror.
Wow.
Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. Oh man.
So you mentioned Barack Obama, and I saw this post. It was. Let me find it. We might have to do some editing magic for this, but it was a.
Keep looking.
Congress right now.
Hold on.
I'm the president of the United States. I'm not the emperor of the United States. My job is to execute laws that are passed. And Congress right now has not changed what I consider to be a broken immigration system. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that we have certain obligations to enforce the laws that are in place, even if we think that in many cases the results may be tragic. There are going to be some stories that break our hearts. And more importantly, we're going to continue to have an economy that is stifled by a really inefficient system where not only are we deporting folks, but we also have a legal immigration system that is so bottlenecked that it forces sometimes people into the illegal system.
That's crazy. I didn't know that Barack Obama was a Nazi fascist in 2013, but I mean, you learn something new every day, I guess.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have a video from 2016 from CNN. They reported on ICE while Obama was in office, and it's a 5-minute video. We can look at it. I think we should look at it. And
just before the sun rises in the Windy City, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents fan out across Chicago to arrest criminals in the U.S. illegally.
Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3.
CNN was granted exclusive access to witness some of those raids.
We got 3 targets.
First off, Broadview, Illinois. No, thank you.
It's this morning.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm from Chicago, and there's a lot of areas that you don't want to go to in Chicago.
You know, some of the neighborhoods a little sketchy, so we got to make sure it's not just
a little
looking
sketchy.
after other people around us.
They want to come out extra early, like right now, because they want to catch these people before they go to work. That's why it starts so early in the morning.
Ready to check? All right, let's roll, guys.
Cook County is the largest county in the state of Illinois. Chicago is in Cook County, so basically the entire state is governed by Cook County. I was coordinating with some people in 2023. They're not going to be successful, but they were trying to get together with a bunch of other counties to introduce legislation to actually secede from Cook County, and then they would be their own sort of like autonomous zone. Because basically, if you come to Illinois, it's just farms and prairies, and everything is flat, and then you have Chicago. Cook
County is Chicago.
What'd you say?
Cook County is Chicago.
Yes, Cook County is Chicago, and it controls everything in the state of Illinois. Everything. That's why people are fleeing the state of Illinois.
A lot of things go through your head. Your adrenaline, blood pressure, of course, goes up when you're getting ready to do something like this.
What?
All right, the vehicle behind us is off limits.
How many people are involved with this operation, particularly right now?
I have a 5-man arrest team here situated in this neighborhood here on the street. You see the stoop going up. I have a couple guys sitting right inside that stoop. This is part of what we do. Keep eyes on somebody and try to be as covert as we can. There we go. Is that him in white?
This may look organized, but in this moment, confusion.
There's always challenges we face when it's dark. Somebody looks very similar to an individual.
ICE agents mistakenly arrest the target's brother.
In the process of
Ay, caramba.
Jail 30 years.
In the vehicle. He then said, "Oh, no, I'm actually so-and-so. Who you're looking for is over here, this other address." He led us to that address, and we were able to actually arrest the individual we were looking for.
Oh my God.
This is what could be happening in Minneapolis.
Wait, you're telling me there was not an international incident? We didn't have to stop the presses because suddenly somebody made a mistake? Oh, God forbid.
It's almost as if all of the outrage surrounding what's happening in Minneapolis is completely artificially constructed by fifth column communists that want to kill us all or something. It's crazy. You know, it's almost like that's what's happening. Oh, of course they did. Of course they did. Good.
I mean, there's a very simple solution to sanctuary cities.
What'd you say?
There's a very simple solution to sanctuary cities. They just get defunded.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Completely, 100%. Okay, you get no funding from the federal government if you're not going to follow the federal government's rules. Like, this is an argument we've had in the United States forever. I don't know. It was one of those things that caused a civil war. Oh, states' rights. Yes. That people thought it was a state right to have slaves. And so the federal government said, no, it's not. There was a big fight over it. And it was the costliest, bloodiest war America has ever had.
That was thing is that besides the more inflammatory rhetoric and the urgency of the Trump administration's ICE activities, his ICE or his immigration policy is almost a one-to-one match to Bill Clinton's immigration policy. This is what the left doesn't understand is that George Bush was a Nazi and Hitler. John McCain was a Nazi and Hitler. Mitt Romney was a Nazi and Hitler. So, I mean, it's the boy that cried wolf. it's the commies that cried fascist. So it's just like nobody cares what you have to say anymore about the topic. Nobody takes you seriously. We all just point and laugh at you.
I just need to point out the obvious. So it's really funny because they call Obama the deporter in chief, and it's funny because all of that immigration stuff was reported after the fact, after he did the things. I don't remember any huge stories of, oh my gosh, this poor man from New Jersey was actually taken from his home, all that stuff. There was very little mention of wrongful arrests or people getting injured or anything.
And a lot of the stuff around Obama was inflated too. I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was
that's the thing. You couldn't politically, you couldn't attack ICE, because then if you attack ICE, you're attacking Obama, and then you basically open the door. You get people to look. It's a Barbra Streisand effect.
Yeah, that's why there's mass rioting and protesting when Trump is in office, because then the fascist is in office, and the left could act against the fascists.
If this happened today, we just saw someone get wrongfully arrested. If this happened today, CNN would have stopped everything. Would have asked the police officers aggressively, "How dare you do this?" They would have had a stink over this, but. No problem. Just continue doing your job.
I know, it's just frustrating because it's like we all knew this was going to happen. A lot of people were predicting this. Is that besides like the stuff that was going on with Gaza when Biden was president, it was mostly there weren't riots and stuff. There weren't it was mostly college kids protesting Israel, waging war against Hamas. But like the thing is that like Antifa is the radical arm of the Democrat Party. In 2020, the Democrats openly, sometimes funded by contributing to GoFundMe's, but openly encouraged violent revolution in order to achieve their goals when George Floyd died. The direct consequence of cities burning down, dozens of people being killed, and billions of dollars worth of damages, mostly to black businesses. The end result of that was a complete revamping of the American cultural system to the point of where they were being openly racist and discriminating against people, mostly white people. And they instituted an entire DEI bureaucracy based on that. And that you could only allow that to happen when Trump is in office, because it has to happen when he's in office to draw a reaction from him. And in their eyes, he is the fascist, right? So you can't do that when Biden is in office. Even though Antifa, they are definitionally anarcho-communists, they hate the Democrats, they still see the Democrats as the better option, and the Democrats take advantage of their action on the streets to achieve their goals. The average liberal will never be able to see this. Like, what I always talk to a liberal and they'll go, "Oh, well, Antifa just means anti-fascist." And I'm like, no. Antifa is a disconnected group of people that are openly hostile to you. They hate you because you're a capitalist and you have a business or you work at a business. They want to destroy your way of life and they hate you. But then you have these dumb white liberal women saying, well, of course they're good. They're Antifa. We're Antifa too. So you have women identifying with a violent organization that wants to kill them without actually understanding what that is. That disconnect is never going to be able to be bridged because they would have to seek out outside information rather than exist in the bubble that they're existing in. It's just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I mean, if your entire brain stops after the fact, Antifa, oh, they're anti-fascist. Okay, the end. I guess you also believe that North Korea is a democracy and belongs to the people. What is it? The DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea? Okay. Do you think that North Korea is any of that? Like, this is the same thing. This is what you're saying. Oh, well, they say they're democratic. They must be democratic. Oh, okay.
And I always find it interesting when you actually so all you have to do to understand the left is just watch them talk. And so here we have people at a communist organization basically trying to mold talking points into their lens.
As a group, Rise and Resist has struggled with terminology, with embracing terminology. We had to struggle with using the term abolish ICE. Look where that is now. We had to struggle with using the term fascism and fascist. Look where that is now. We struggled with using the term Gestapo. Look where that is now. The most mainstream pundits are using these terms. And now we're going to lead with, this is ethnic cleansing. Call it what it is. As a group.
So yeah, no, removing illegal immigrants, most who are violent offenders or drug lords and rapists. It's ethnic cleansing because you have. I mean, that's honestly is good, right? What better way to appeal to the modern ignorant liberal than to point to the color of their skin for why they're being removed from the country? I'm telling you, the communists they're not smart. They mostly just have institutional backing, but they are like, I mean, if you just allow yourself to be evil and embrace it. I mean, think about look at Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now. Ned Stark was suicidal in his pursuit to hold on to his honor.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And I mean, there was a point where he went to Cersei, a woman that he knew was fucking her brother and was responsible for pushing his own son out of a window to kill him. And he had such honor that he wanted to warn her that he was going to tell the king that her children were actually Jaime Lannister's children, not his children. He wanted to warn her to save her life, and it cost him his life. These people, I mean, these people have, there is no honor at all. So they could operate in a completely different frame of mind than someone that tries to operate with honor.
You know what she really wanted to say? She really wanted to say, and then we start rounding them up. That's what she really wanted to say. And that was a very long pause. She's like, no, I'm being recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah. It's just, but I think that's it. This is a fun episode. We gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about next time. Thank you everybody for listening to another episode of the Limiting Principle Podcast. Keep an eye out. Hold on. Keep an eye out.
We had no intro. We just dove right into it.
Well, we did. I actually do have a tiny intro at the beginning of this that you didn't hear. But everybody keep an eye out for my new series called New Derp Courses. It's an ongoing series, as I said at the beginning of this, where I look at James Lindsay and take him apart and explain how what he's doing is wrong. I'm not going to do it all the time. However, anytime I see him pull his nonsense, I will be covering that.
This is your solo venture, your anti-James Lindsay derp course.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even want it. I don't even want to be doing this. But it's just like, if you're going to call out dialectical wizards, James, while at the same time being a dialectical wizard, people have a right to know that. And here's the song. Well, that's all we got, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
All right. Have a good one.